Well, it's a life thing, and it's January 2021. I'm here, Rebecca Silence, owner of Inspired Results, creator of Healing is Possible, with the amazing, gorgeous heart, mind, body, and soul, Lia Valencia Key. We're kicking off our year together, and we're doing this segment, It's a Life Thing, as two women that are grateful and blessed to be living in our purpose, regardless of obstacles, circumstances, and past experience. And also, just what we've seen isn't how we're living today. And that's not a good or a bad thing. But, it is possible to create a life that you've never seen before, to meet a version of yourself that you've never been. And that's what we're up to in 2021. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Hey, Lia.
Hi. Yes to everything you said. I love it.
What do you want people to know at the very beginning of 2021, when we're still, kind of guns blazing, hopefully, what do you want people to know?
I think some words that resonate in my heart is first intention. So the power of intention. When I'm not intentional, I can find myself in so many places emotionally, situationally. I don't know if that's a word, but go for it. And so I think the power of intention, like really choosing who you want to be, where you want to be, how you want to feel, what you want to get out of life. And then the second word that comes to mind is grace. Give yourself grace. We are so hard on ourselves. And it's beautiful when you're intentional, then you have a goal and a vision, but you're human. So you're not perfect. And you have baggage and bondage and experiences that are going to challenge your intention, right? And so if you know you have intention in your heart, give yourself grace. I was listening to, so Jamie Kern Lima and Brendan Burchard do this for, I think this month, they do this morning, my time is 10:30 a.m., but it's called, they do this morning inspiration for like 30 minutes. And I try to cue in when I can. And yesterday was so powerful because Brendan said, I don't want to botch this up, but I believe he said, I, B, R. If you think of those three letters, and I is for intention, exactly what I was saying, waking up, being intentional. B is for breathing, taking a beat. And when I think of breathing and taking a beat, I think give yourself grace. So when you start this day off like this, and then you slip back into your old ways, right? Which we will, either through the week or in the day, breathe. Take a beat, give yourself some grace, say it's okay. And then R, he said, reset right back to your intention. And so as long as you have the power to choose to reset, let's keep resetting and you'll get where you want to be. And it's all good.
And it'll work out. I mean, in a moment, it might not feel okay. It might not feel all good, but you are going to get through it. And there's nothing in this world outside of you more powerful than your ability to be intentional. I love that you're bringing this up, Leah. I think it's perfect for all of us at the beginning of the year because there is so much that we have no control over. And then it's so easy to put all of our effort and energy and attention towards what we don't have control over, which just keeps us spinning out. And always, we have the ability, like you're saying, to reset, to do a hard reboot in a moment. And how do you do that? You pick a focus, you pick an intention, even if it feels impossible, especially if it feels impossible. Do you know the direction you're going in, the direction your life is going in? And you always have control over that. And then the rest of it is going to work itself out the way it is, and you can't manipulate or influence or change it. So what's your intention for yourself? And it can be, and it should be, almost like two sides of the coin. Like we have the ability to set micro intention, What do I want for this moment? Who am I going to be for this moment? What am I choosing for this moment? And then I believe it's critical to have macro intention. I mean, Lia is sitting here in her gorgeous golden chair with all of her jewelry. You know, I'm also wearing my Lia Valencia key, you know, that she has created, that was an intention, that was a macro intention, that was a dream that has come true because she never lost sight of the intention as her focal point, as the rule versus the exception. And I think the second we make our intention our ultimate commitment, knowing that life will creep in, but course correct, get back on track, you know, until and unless your intention is so important to you that you are absolutely, without a doubt, committed to making it happen or to die trying. If it's not that clear and exciting and inspired, it's not going to happen. So if you have an intention that you think you should create, my coaching is this: pick a different one. Pick the one that you're unwilling not to create, and then go back to the ones you think you should. Once you get to a place like, I'm unwilling not to do this, this is the time, it's now. That's what Lia did with her jewelry. That's what I've done with my company and my women's work. And Lia, you don't know this, but the women's retreats that I have done for well over a decade for women, we always start with intention.
Wow. We are so connected in mind. It's actually so beautiful. I love it. Every time I feel this onion of connection. I love
it. You know, and it, again, it's commitment. Intention is a commitment that you choose for you. And I think it's so easy to think, you know what? I can only create what I believe is possible for me. And I think the biggest thing that I see people do that trips them up is they wait until they think there's enough evidence to support them making a commitment to a new intention. You don't need the evidence. You don't need the guarantee. You need the commitment. You need the, there's no other option, but I'm doing this or dying trying energy behind it. And that's it.
That's my number one thing. You know, I'm very, very human. So I go through my peaks and my valleys emotionally.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful when you set your intention so strong out in the world that the world won't allow you to walk away from your intention. And so I encourage whoever you are, whatever your intentions are, and this doesn't need to be business. This could be life. It could be health. It could be how you act, how you shed past baggage and past experiences that are weighing you down in your mind. It could be any of those things in life that you want to be. Put it out in the world, like literally put it out in the world vocally, consistently, because when you're so consistent on putting your intention out in the world won't let you not be who you said you want to be. And I find that so beautiful in my life, because I'm like, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I don't wanna face it. This is not going well. Everything came in wrong. And then ding, 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 my phone's ringing, and it's hearts, I call them angels, earth angels in my life that are calling me to my intention, calling me on what I said I wanted to be, calling me, and they don't even know it. They're just like emailing me a question about my website, about what I'm doing, where I'm speaking. And, you know, it's calling you out to where you say you want to be. So that's a major tip. Don't keep your intentions to yourself. Like, number one, get your intentions out in the world, because I don't like accountability partners. I must admit, like, I don't want you to always last minutes check on what I'm doing, because then I'm gonna get lightly agitated. But I do, so I don't appoint accountability partners, but I just say my intention and I live my intention. And then unconsciously, people like you, Rebecca, who are so beautiful at your coaching and healing, you email me and you don't even know it, but you're calling me on my intention and helping me continuously walk in my intention, and emailing and say, hey, Lia, when are we getting together to schedule It's a Life thing? You're helping me continue walking in my path of intention. And it wouldn't happen if I wasn't shining out what I said I want to be and do in the world. So I just encourage you all, get it out in the world so it can
Yeah.
help you do better.
Oh, Leah, there's so much I want to say about what you're saying, because I think it is true that there's constantly just as much evidence that the world and life will give you to keep you motivated, to keep the momentum flowing, to keep reminding you, yes, you
Yes.
can do it. But one of the other things that I see with clients all the time is they think an obstacle might be a sign that they shouldn't go for it. So on
Oh
the
no.
opposite side of, yes, life is going to remind you to keep going, here's my philosophy. And I don't have scientific data to back it up, but I'm putting it out there anyway. When you
Yeah.
get an obstacle, here's all it is. It's just a test in your commitment. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean stop. It's not a sign that you shouldn't. It just
Yeah.
means, how serious are you? And are we only going to stay committed when it's easy? Or are we going to stay committed until we get the job done? So what I want, be intentional. And then I love Leah's word, grace. You know, I think it is an epidemic for people to think they should be farther along than they are. No, you are where you are. And I do it all the time. I think, okay, I crossed this finish line. Well, why didn't I cross it? You know, why am I not that much farther along? But I'm where I am, and we are where we are. And again, when you know what your intentions are and you commit fully to them on a soul, spirit level, nothing can stop you. And when the obstacles come, you know, there's a stage in relationship, and that includes to our goals and dreams and intentions and wants, where you will become disillusioned. You will
Yeah.
inevitably, between where you are and where you want to be, hit the moment in time where you think, oh no, this isn't going well. Maybe I shouldn't do it. And when that moment comes for me, I go, okay, this is just the disillusionment stage. This is just where I panic. And then my commitment has to be stronger. And the way through disillusionment is go back to that intention with grace and get yourself recommitted again. And you can recommit just like you can do what Brendan says in Jamie Kern Lima, reset. I'm a big fan of both of them. I did a mastermind with Brendan in 2019, and I'm so excited for Jamie and her book. And again, how to
Believe it.
Brendan.
That book is amazing.
Oh
Gotta
my
get
gosh.
it.
Thank you,
All
Jamie, for
plugs.
putting it out there. Right?
You
But
have
how
to
did she do it?
pre-order Believe It. Pre-order Believe It. It's coming out, and it falls right into what we're talking about, Rebecca. Like, because with intention, you don't need to know whatever your intention is possible, because it's possible. But I think it's beautiful to see other human beings
Yeah.
doing things that almost seem impossible. And if they can do it, you definitely can do it. So that's what Believe It is about. Just like going through the journey of how she did this possible feat. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, I get chills. But how did they start, right? Jamie had intention. She had commitment. She stayed focused on the reminders of, okay, what is keeping the door open here, and found a way to where she wanted to be. She's a beautiful women leader example for all of us. Same with Brendan. And you know, who are you not to create your life the way you want it? Who are
Yeah.
you not to make what you see for yourself possible for yourself? And the only reason it seems impossible is because you haven't seen it yet. So create it. And then you have no
Creative.
idea how you're impacting others.
And I guess to end on grace, because we can hear a lot of people talk about intention. You can turn on many inspirational talks about creating our whatever. But I do want us to really resonate on that power of grace. So one of my best friends' name is Grace, and she literally embodies what the emotional action of grace is. She's forgiving, she's kind, she's caring, she's there for you when you need her. And so when I think of God's grace, I think of that. Like, the ultimate test of loving yourself is to give yourself grace. And so I do want to really implore everyone, you are great where you are, even if you're in a horrible place. You're still great. So love yourself in it and take small baby steps. And every time you fail and every time you do opposite of what your intention was to be, love yourself through that. Pick back up and try it again. Because guess what? If you're living, whatever you're living in, or however you're living, if you're living, you have the opportunity to do and be whatever you choose to be. And it doesn't matter when it happens, as long as you're working on it. So just give yourself grace and love on yourself abundantly. Because unless you love yourself, it doesn't matter what you create, it's not worth it if you're not giving yourself self love.
Oh, I love that, Leah. And you're not going to be able to give more grace to others than you give yourself. You're not going to be
Absolutely.
able to be more for others than you are for yourself. And you're reminding me, Leah, I have a friend, and we literally have an agreement called soft landings, where we want to be as intentional as we can about soft landings with one another. And that's what I think about when I think about grace. How do you have a soft landing with yourself? Meaning you're gracefully keeping your heart open and being gentle. And that doesn't mean you're dumbing it down. It just means you're embracing your own humanity. And I think we could all do more of that this year. Again, there's so much that we have no control over. And then we have control over, are we being graceful with ourselves, with others? Are we being intentional? And are we willing to find the signs that we should keep going versus holding back? What are we waiting for? Let's this year really go for it. It's a life thing.
I love it. It's a life thing. Let's keep encouraging each other through this beautiful journey called life. And I'm so grateful to be with you on this journey, Rebecca. So intention and grace is our set point.
And then find the earth angels. Leah's one of them for me, that just keep you going, that help you keep stoking that fire. I get chills right now. I've got the most amazing circle to remind me, wait a minute, you know who you are. And don't be afraid to shine as bright as you can, and get some of Leah's jewelry to help you shine. Little power jewelry, never hurt. I wear it every day.
I love you. Thank you for saying that. I'd never say it just outright, but I really do believe in that, Rebecca. Like, wear a piece of jewelry, wear Valencia Key jewelry, because it's just a click on and a wearable reminder that it's possible. If you got a great circle, they're not going to be with you all the time.
Yeah.
They're just not. So you need to remind yourself to sparkle and believe. You need to remind yourself to keep synergy and balance. And then also, Rebecca, you're an awesome, beautiful coach. I know we're batting tennis ball back and forth, but it's really true. Like, if you do need someone and your circle isn't strong, or you do have a strong circle, but you need an outside person to really pour into. Rebecca, the stories you just share about how you are touching and helping and just mending lives from baggage, beyond, and future is just so beautiful. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have you.
Leah, I adore you. And if you want some free support, I do have a Healing is Possible Facebook group that you can join, and then a free quiz on RebeccaSilence.com where you can start to look at, what does your heart need to heal, and get yourself going in a new, inspired, and graceful direction. Thanks, everyone. We will see you soon. It's a live thing. Thank you, Leah.